I would like your 1-bedroom apartment. Okay, you have to make 10 times the fucking rent. Oh! If I made 10 times the rent, I wouldn't be getting your 1-bedroom, right? Oh!
All we do is work. All we do is get off work, rest to come back to work, get a check to pay for the car so we can drive to work, get insurance on the car so if the car breaks down, we can have a way to get the car back so we can go back to work.
Work is stressing me out, bills are stacking, cars making noises, but then imagine adding a toddler screaming because their applesauce touched their chicken nugget. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm all right.
You can feel it everywhere right now. People are done. Gen Z has officially had enough. They're tired of working jobs that don't pay enough to live. They're tired of the 9-to-5 grind, the fake hustle culture, and corporate America pretending to care about you while underpaying everyone. Rent is up, groceries are insane, and owning a home, forget it. It feels like no matter how hard you work, you're still barely keeping your head above water. So today, we're talking about why so many young people are rejecting the system altogether, and whether Gen Z might be the first generation to completely walk away from this broken setup. Now, I want to know how you guys feel about life and money down in the comments section below. Otherwise, let's get right into today's episode.
I really don't know much, but what I do know is I'm not doing this shit till I'm 65. I'm sorry. I'm not doing this shit till I'm 65. You're telling me we work 40 hours a week to trade off for 2 days off a week. Oh, great. Perfect. I wake up every morning. I get ready. I go to work. I come home. I get unready. And then I go to bed. And then I sleep. And then I wake up and I do it all over again. Are you fucking kidding me? And then I have 2 days off to do my chores. Oh, great. Perfect. No, great. Perfect. And then by the time I'm like, oh, okay, everything's done. It's time to sit down and enjoy my weekend. But you look at that, 10 p.m. 10 p.m. weekend's over. I'm not doing this until I'm 65. Sorry, not for me. What's your dream job? None. None. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I feel like a rat in a maze and I want out of it. No, sorry. Why are you posting on TikTok so much? Because I can't do this. Because I cannot do this. Thank you.
I hear you. I can't do it either. That's why I quit. I quit several years ago and now I work for myself. And it's been the best decision I have ever made. Hands down. No debate. I don't regret it. Here's the trade-off though. I work probably 60 or 70 plus hours a week, depending on who you ask. I work nonstop. I get up at 5 in the morning, get ready, go to the gym, come home, 7 in the morning, start work, 8 in the morning, start work. And I work till 5, 6, 7. I don't know. I just love it though. I have a passion for it. I love creating content and doing all other types of entrepreneurial stuff. I guess one would call it that. But I get it in the rat race. And, being an entrepreneur is not for everyone. I don't recommend it for everyone. There's a lot of sleepless nights. I worry all the time whether or not I'll have enough money to get through this year, this month, next month. Will I have enough? There's no stability here, essentially. But the sky's the limit with how much you can make. So I take the gamble, I take the risk. But it's not for everyone. My fiance, she would never do it. She hates it. She works a stable job. However, she learned to optimize the job she has. She used to do the 9-to-5, the corporate. She hated it. I hated it, the job, the 9-to-5, when I did it for a year after college. But she figured out, hey, I have to optimize this. I have to make it better. So what did she do? She applied and she applied and she applied and she applied and she job hopped and worked and finally found a job that was fully remote. And now she gets to work from home. And it's awesome. She loves it. Now, that might not even be for everyone. So my next advice is find something you can tolerate. I'm not saying pursue your passion. That's different. That's much harder. Anywho, I wanted to read a couple of comments that people had left on my previous episode on the cost of living and how everything is getting so expensive. If you haven't seen that episode, highly recommend you do. And if you want to get featured in the next episode, definitely make sure to drop a comment down below. The answer is to live below your means. I bleach my own hair at home. I do my own nails. I use drugstore makeup, skincare. We don't always buy name brands. My spouse and I work full-time and part-time. Live below your means. And this truly is the way. This is huge. This is great advice because I would bet for every person that argues that they are living below their means, and if it's actually true, there's probably 1,000 that aren't that justify it and say they are, and can't differentiate between luxuries and necessities, that say, well, I have to eat, so I go out and buy fast food every single day and spend hundreds of dollars instead of cooking at home. Like, I know everybody has different necessities, but some people really like to stretch that. You guys gotta understand, money is a tool that will buy you freedom, and it's your ticket out of the rat race. It buys you independence. The more you can save, the more you can invest, the earlier you can retire, the more fulfilling you will feel, the more freedom you will have. And at some point, if you have $100K sitting in the bank, $200K sitting in the bank, and your job is unfulfilling and you don't want to work there anymore, or your boss fires you, you could say, kick rocks, I'll go find another one at my own leisure, because I have an emergency fund that can carry me through several months of unemployment. Now, obviously, don't stretch it out. Go get that job fast, but you have the security net, and it is a very rewarding feeling. That is what I have, and it is amazing to not necessarily have to worry about money, but you have to live below your means. And the earlier you do this, the younger you start, the quicker you will become financially free and get to quit the rat race.
You want to hear something disturbing that I realized? If you make $20 an hour, right, an hour of your life is only worth $20. Think about that. Mind you, life is priceless. There's no amount of money that you can throw on your deathbed to get your life back. You can't.
True.
It's just something that God gives to us. It's his breath of life that we get from him. There's no amount of money that can pay for that. Anyways, America decided, no, an hour of your life is going to be worth $30. $20, even worse, $16. Like, excuse me, your life is so priceless, and America slaps a label on it and says, nope, an hour of your life is only worth $20. You know what I could do with an hour of my life? More than $20 can do, okay? Anyways, I've been crashing out about this, and coming to work has never been the same.
It's an interesting perspective, but I kind of look at it on more of like a macroeconomical business sort of capitalist viewpoint, which is businesses are going to pay you the bare minimum to do labor, to do work. That's legally required. Why would they pay more and lose money? That's just how it is. If you guys started your own business, why would you want to pay more money than you could? And it's honestly supply and demand in the market. I mean, if you're working a minimum wage job that is paying you the minimum, I don't know how much of a problem we are solving. Like, I don't know how much of a problem we are solving. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to like discredit people that work, you know, minimum wage jobs, but it was never created to raise a family on, to buy a house, have a car, and become financially free. And if that's how you thought of it, you really need to change your perspective that these jobs are essentially temporary or fun money and should be treated as such.
I have to work for nearly a full fucking hour to buy a basket, bitch. To buy a fucking basket, bitch? Are you serious? Like, after tax, it's basically an hour.
Unreal.
And if I need 2 baskets, that's 2 hours of work. We are so fucking cooked, bro.
Converting item costs to hourly wages was detrimental to my mental health. That's true. Especially if you are in the minimum wage category. A whole hour to pay for 2 pounds of ground beef. I don't even know what minimum wage is now. I think it's different state by state, and the federal minimum wage is a joke, so we're not going to talk about it. I do think it's terrible, and I also don't like how some jobs will pay minimum wage, even though what they're asking for is insane, and it should certainly be worth a lot more, but then hopefully nobody works at it, and they realize they're, you know, smoking, and they have to increase the price. I've seen that. I have seen that. It's getting out of hand. When did trash cans cost $60? Oh, that's a whole other story. A whole hour just to buy tampons. That's how I look at everything. It's honestly a good way to look at everything because it really will let you, hopefully, live below your means.
Hey, quick question to all my other 25-year-old, 24 to 27-year-olds out there. Do you guys see a future in the United States? I'm just curious because as of recently, I'm starting to rethink that myself. Let me know what the fuck you're thinking, guys.
And I want to hear it from you guys too. I mean, there's a reason everyone wants to come to America, so I've been told. But how is it in other countries? I mean, there's lots of, privileges that we get here that you don't get in other countries. And, I don't know, it goes back and forth. I haven't really left the country aside from like a cruise for like a day. So I need to get out more. I want to go to Japan. But if you guys are in the UK, Scotland, wherever you are, let me know how it is there. And how would you compare it to the US, America? Now, don't compare it necessarily to the videos you watch on my channel if you are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, obviously, definitely, I highly recommend subscribing to the channel. But I am showing you extremes here. It's not always like this, but it certainly is happening here. But I am showing you highlight reels of extremes. So just bear with me that it could be slightly biased. You can take responsibility and also blame billionaires after COVID. A lot of wealth was transferred up forwards, the richest in the West. Small businesses weren't seen as essential. Only large big box stores were opened. All the insider trading going on. Yes, people often buy shit and have bad money habits, but it is made harder recently, but not impossible. Harder. I like this comment a lot. I agree with a lot of what they are saying here. Yes, we can blame certain billionaires. Essentially, there are two types, I would think. You got hardworking billionaires that created lots of opportunities for lots of other people, started something successful. And then you have like trust fund billionaires. That's a different story. That is a whole different story. And we're going to save the billionaire debate for, I think, next week's episode. So another reason why you guys should subscribe, because I want to hear your opinions on that. After COVID, a lot of wealth was transferred. Yeah, a lot of money was printed after COVID and then transferred up. That's essentially what we saw here. It's like it just immediately went right there. All the money printed was given to everybody. Then they closed all the small businesses. So the only place you could spend it was on big businesses owned by massive corporations and billionaires, and whoosh, went right back there. It's hysterical. But often, essentially, we are living in one of the most consumeristic times that we have ever seen. We are currently living in it. So even with all that money transfer, yada, 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 people also spend like animals, put all their money into consumeristic stuff to keep up with their neighbors. It's crazy. So like he said, it's not impossible, but it is harder because there's a lot of temptation out there, a lot of tantalizing items and things to get you to spend all your money on stuff, materialistic stuff.
I am 22 years old and I work in corporate America. I work a Monday through Friday, 7 to 5. I'm over it. I'm 22 and I'm over it. So I call my mother and I complain naturally and she's like, "Oh my gosh, girl, you've got time. Like, you can't be over it just yet." But I am though.
Yeah.
And it doesn't quite sit right with me when my parents and just like older people in general call our generation lazy, because here's my thing. Our generation was blessed with this thing called the internet, where we have literally been watching since like we can remember people make money filming themselves, and lots of it. So mind you, mother, just kidding, honey, I love you. When you grew up, the only thing that you had was corporate America. You grew up to 9 to 5s. That's all that there was. If you wanted to become somebody bigger, you had to essentially build a business, like a hardcore business, nothing electronic. You had to sell products at some place, blah, blah, blah. That's pretty much like your only ticket. Nowadays, our ticket is the internet. You know how accessible it is?
It's true.
So when I'm constantly watching videos of influencers making thousands, millions, whatever the number may be, and they have the freedom to build their own schedule, I think it's attainable and I think I can do it. And then you start to do that and you realize how difficult it is. It's not as accessible as people make it out to be. So you feel less fulfilled in your current corporate setting. You're watching these influencers like live their best life. Literally their job is to go eat dinner with their favorite freaking company of all time, and they're getting free items, paid to do it, and you wake up the next morning at 7 a.m. to go to your 7 to 5. So no, we're not lazy. We're not lazy. It's just very tiring and exhausting to watch people live your dream and you still have to wake up the next day and do it all over again 5 times a week.
There is a tremendous amount to unbox here, and she brought up a lot of valid points. I'll probably forget to touch on all of them, but I will try my best. For starters, she brings up her parents that said, "You got a lot more time." My parents used to say that to me. "You're so young." We commuted every day to Queens from Long Island for decades, and we didn't complain, or we did complain, but we did it. We had to do it. Here's the thing. You can't miss what you never had. You can't miss what didn't exist, essentially here. The problem we're having now with Gen Z, because I am also Gen Z, I was born in 98, just made it. The problem we have now is the internet. It has become so much easier to compare yourself to every single person, not only in your town, in your high school, but the adjacent town, the other state, the other country. So when you have that, the amount of FOMO is insane because this is a new thing. We had the Industrial Revolution. We are entering the digital revolution. Things are different. Harder, easier. The FOMO is unbelievable. And the reason being is back in the day, who did your parents have to compare themselves to? You had the TV, which was like fake and whatever, cartoony or just not real. I think they understood that. And then you had, realistically, the only people you compared yourself to, I would think, is your neighbors and the people you went to work with. But guess what? You went to work with them. You all drove the same commute. You all did that. So you didn't miss out on anything because everyone was doing it. But now when you have the internet and you have social media, it's everybody is seeing everyone else doing everything and they're only posting the highlights. So you are missing out. Now, as for her comment about how it's so easy to become an influencer. I get paid tons of money to, to film videos, eating food. They're living the life. It's so easy. You're not looking at the entire picture. You're only seeing what you want to see because you don't see everything behind the curtains. Everybody's like, I've gotten comments on this for my YouTube video where they're like, wow, you just make videos talking about other videos, blah, 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 blah. Okay, if it was that easy, try it. I've tried several YouTube channels prior to this. Many were unsuccessful until this one. You guys only see this one. I've had many failed YouTube channels. Over several years, I have been making a video every single day for YouTube since 2015 in college, every day, even the weekends. There's been a lot of work put into the back that you don't see. For example, an analogy, if you were trying to start a fishing business and went on a boat and watched the fisherman cast his net, reel in hundreds of thousands of fish and make a ton of money, you're going to say, oh, wow, that's easy. I can do it too. That can't be that difficult. You don't know how much he's put into it. I'm sure the fisherman, the sailor, has been in the back end doing this for 30 plus years, sailing the seas, reading the temperature, knowing where fish travel and spawn and blah, 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 and breed and how wind and current affects where fish. There's so much trial and error and failures put into it that now he has the experience, knowledge, and wisdom to catch that. So to judge someone off what you're seeing today is not the picture. It's not the big picture. You are missing out on so much more. I'm not discrediting these influencers. It certainly pays off, but there is a huge hump to get to that point where you can get stuff for free. I can go so much further, but I'm not. But don't judge a book by its cover. Yes, it's rewarding, but there's a lot of work put into it. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it. Go try it. Try it. See if it's that easy, go do it. Dude, you flip-flop so much in your videos. Like 1 minute you're like, yeah, it's harder to live now than ever before. And then a second later, you're like, it's easier now than ever before to make money. That's true. I did say that. I think you are just full of crap, making this just for clicks and have no actual idea on most of the stuff you were talking about. But it seems to be working out for you with how many watch your videos. So I guess more power to you. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Judging a book by its cover, making assumptions before you know much. It's crazy. Maybe I do know a thing or two because I've started a business, became self-employed, and I guess would be considered an entrepreneur, and have saved and made hundreds of thousands of dollars by myself and have invested tons of money where I'm practically financially free, even though I love to work and love creating content for you guys. It's too quick to judge. And this comment summed it up perfectly, a response to that. Two things can be true at the same time. Yes, cost of living is higher, which makes it harder to live. But with social media, DoorDash, and such, there's more options to make more money. Exactly. Unlike before in the 60s and 50s and 40s, because I've asked people of that generation, it was much harder to start a business and become an entrepreneur. Essentially, your entire business, like your customer base, was your town. There was no communication really outside of that. So aside the newspaper, and it was just to your town. Now I can hop on social media, make a video, and you guys are in Scotland, Japan, Ukraine, Russia, all over the country are watching my video. I have a massive audience, a massive base that you could sell products to. I'm not saying it's easy, essentially. It is still difficult. Not many people can do it, but it is easier in that there are more opportunities out there now. That's not discrediting that the cost of living is still a pain in the ass, and we can all complain that prices just keep freaking skyrocketing, and late stage capitalism is a pain in the ass with you losing your right to repair stuff and planned obsolescence. It's BS.
Whenever I'm having a bad day, I'm just like, man, imagine if I had kids too. Like, work is stressing me out, bills are stacking, cars making noises. But then imagine adding a toddler screaming because their applesauce touched their chicken nugget. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm all right. A bad day for me right now is running late and forgetting my headphones. Okay. A bad day with kids is running late because a 4-year-old locked themselves in the bathroom to cry about socks. So yeah, and the thing is, you can't even tap out. There's no viable legal solution there. When you're single, you can say, I'm done with today and just lay in bed. When you got kids, they don't care that your life is falling apart. They'll walk into your room like unpaid debt collectors at 6 a.m., demanding cereal and Paw Patrol. Okay, so I complain about life being expensive, but at least I'm not out here dropping $50 on Legos just so a child can lose them in 24 hours. All right, so yeah, when I'm having a bad day, I just thank God I don't have to negotiate with a toddler on top of it. My problems are heavy, but at least they don't wake me up at 3 a.m. to ask why the moon is hiding.
That is hysterical. I like that guy a lot. Yeah, I give a lot of credit to people, Gen Zers that have kids. Don't know how you can do it. I don't. Maybe years ago, I'm getting to the age where like my parents had me. Super weird. Super weird. I'm 27. Super weird. So the thought of having kids when I'm a kid is very strange. And with the cost of everything, how? It's so expensive. I would think I'm open to the idea of having them. I don't see how I can do it anytime soon. So let me know. I was crying in my room and my son walked in demanding something. Saw I was crying, then said, when you calm down, I'm hungry. It's rough. Now imagine this all happening if you were also on your period. Oh boy. I'm proudly contributing to the declining birth rate. Ain't no way. You can't even tap out. It's real ghetto, I promise. Parents, oh my God, I've had the worst day. Kids, Dairy Queen closes at 6. Crying, let's go.
No, thank you so much. Perfect. This is exactly what I needed. Yes, I would like your 1-bedroom apartment. Okay, you have to make 10 times the fucking rent. Oh! Buddy, if I made 10 times the rent, I wouldn't be getting your 1-bedroom, right? Ugh! I'd be shaking ass in a penthouse in Miami. That's what I'd be doing. That's what I'd be fucking doing. You stupid piece of shit. Oh my God, are you fucking fried in the skull? Are we fried in the skull? And then I need help, and you know what they're doing? Here's our virtual assistant. I don't want to talk to your wire back. I don't! Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes! My parents were like, one day you're gonna understand what it's like to be an adult. If this is what it's like, shoot me in the... Yep, you can live here if you can't afford to be here. So what's the point then? Whoa! Wow! What's the point then?
Valid crash out. Totally warranted. Valid crash out. Not our parents trying to convince us that they had it worse than us. That is a ongoing debate with boomers. I don't know. We all had our own sets of problems during that time period, and they're all different now. How we can, attribute points to which ones are worse than others, I don't know. But what is known is that I'm pretty sure it was the boomers that crashed the entire housing market by giving subprime loans out to people that shouldn't have loans, like strippers for houses. Crash the whole thing so that they can make a commission as a mortgage broker, and then decide to bail out the entire economy by allowing international investors and private equity to purchase them all up and make it our problem now. So I don't know who's got the problem. So now houses are $800,000 that they bought for $50K. And then they complain, well, I had a 12%, 17% interest rate when I was young on a $14,000 house. Just because you have a 7% rate, we had it so much harder. It's like that $17,000 house is worth $1.2 million and it's never been renovated. Mental. 10x rent, no in-washer or dryer. What am I paying for? In New York, it's 40x. Yeah, that's why I moved out of Long Island, because it was unbelievable. What you would get and have to pay, and then a broker's fee or whatever it was. Oh my gosh, the real estate agent fee to get that. Stupid money grabs. Everywhere is a money grab.
Growing up is realizing that everybody is still getting money from their parents. Okay, your married friends, their parents help them with that down payment. Your poor friends, their parents are still paying for their cell phone bill or giving them money when they need it. Your creative friends, definitely getting money from their parents. My dad is literally rich and he doesn't give me anything. It's a bad parent. If you love your kids, you financially support them forever.
I was financially cut off several years ago. The last two things I remember holding on to was car insurance, which I paid for. I just got their discount. And the phone bill. Man, I held on to that phone plan. If you guys still have anything, hold on to it. Even got kicked off the Netflix account. So yeah, most of your friends are actually probably getting getting sponsored by their parents. I know several people, we're not going to name drop here, that are getting paid, getting money from their parents all the time. On Long Island, especially with the Japs, everyone's getting sponsored. Cars, car payments, insurance, housing, rent, everything is getting paid from them. Even now I have friends buying houses, and I'm learning that their parents are giving them like 40, 50, 60, 70, not that much, like $40,000, $50,000 to get them out of the house. Like $50K to use as a down payment to buy a house. I never got that. I don't want that. Let my parents spend their money how it's theirs. They've helped me enough. But it's crazy. You really, like that other girl was saying, you're judging people too quickly. You don't realize what is going on behind the scenes.
I'm freshly 28. I have no job, no savings, no partner. I live at home with my parents again. There are 5 cats that reside here, 2 of them being mine. Life isn't going the way that I thought it was going to. It's been stressful. I have no money to do things anymore, which is whatever. It is what it is. But I did just bake oatmeal craisin white chocolate cookies.
Those look
and they're really good. And I think them coming out so pretty, yeah, they're a little bit brown, but I like them that way, is a sign that everything's going to be okay and that I can do hard things. And I'm resilient. That's really all I have to say.
Those look delicious. Guys, if I opened a P.O. box, would you guys send me mail to read asking questions? I think it would be a cool little thing to integrate onto the channel. Like, I'll read your guys' stories if you're asking. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but I can put myself as if it was in my shoes and give you an opinion on what I would do. I think it would be a cool thing. How many of you guys would send me, I don't want to call it fan mail, but send me mail, write a letter, type a letter, and then just, put a stamp on it. If you need $1 to mail it, I can give you $1, whatever. And send me some questions, your stories or questions or useful advice. I will screen them prior, and then we can, maybe the last 5-10 minutes of an episode, I can read them online. I mean, yeah, and shout you guys out. If that's something you guys are interested in starting, because I'm telling you, it is so hard to read all your guys' comments now. It is getting so difficult. I try to as much as I possibly can, but just last month, we had over 7,000 comments. I am so grateful and so happy, and I still try to read as many as I possibly can. But it's tough. It's getting very tough. So if that's something you guys would like, let me hear about it down in the comment section below. She brings up a lot of valid points, but how in the world do you become 28 with $0 in your bank account, no job, nothing, practically homeless? I mean, at least at this point, the only way to go now is up. like everything you do will be progress at this point now. So she's got one thing going for her. The cost of vehicles alone is bankrupting people. The best thing people can do here is buy used and stay away from dealers. A used vehicle goes through paces and milestones versus the new one that hasn't hit them yet. I love this. Actually learn how to work on the car like people did in the 80s and 90s. Getting a car that's older than 2015 allows you to do this. 100% agree. 100% agree. There's a little exception, like a caveat, where you can do newer 2015 cars. It's obviously harder, but as long as you stick with like Mazda and Toyota and Honda, it's okay-ish. But as the reason they're harder to work on is because we have a lot more emissions regulations, and it's less about like building reliability that they're chasing. It's more of getting the best MPG for emissions, which causes reliability to go downhill while emissions goes up. It's a trade-off that is not in our favor. It's in their best interest, not ours.
So all we do is work. All we do is get off work, rest to come back to work, get a check to pay for the car so we can drive to work, get insurance on the car so if the car breaks down, we can have a way to get the car back so we can go back to work. Have health insurance so that if we're sick, that when we're out of work, when we're sick, we can get the medicine and get the care we need so we can get back to work. We go to the grocery store so we won't be hungry when we're at work and we can pack a lunch for work. We hydrate so we won't pass out when we're at work. I just don't understand. It's 4 o'clock and I have to go back to work at 7 a.m. I don't want to go. Like, they tell me I have to go. You tell me I have to go. Like, I have to go? Why? Why can't someone else do it? Why do I look pink? I look like I'm fucking I look like I'm sunburned. I didn't even get the sun today. I look like last night I got way too high and I thought I was looking at pictures of myself and I'm like, wow, you're one weird looking motherfucker. You're like a weird motherfucker. Anyways, I hate working. I do. And I don't even, why am I in school? So I can get another job? So I can get a 9-to-5 job? No. No. And then go work out. All I want to do is lay in this bed. I don't want to go to the gym. I just want to lay in this bed. I don't even care to have a nice body that much.
Another valid crash out. Here's my comment with this and why I quit the 9-to-5 nonsense. I realized, and a lot of this growth took a long time. I didn't realize it. I couldn't put it into words back then as I can now. What I have come to realize is I like to be in control of my own choices. And I think a lot of people do as well. And when you work a 9-to-5, and especially when you have to commute and go into the office, you give that up. Now, don't know how that works with genders, with different people, blah, 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 blah. Some people might be okay being told what to do. I don't. I like working with people, not for people. So I had to change that, and that's what I did. I had to figure out how to regain control of my life and my decisions, and now I am so much happier. See, here's the thing, and why there was so much pushback with the remote work from home type of jobs is because these companies, these older companies that have older people in them, they realize they are losing control when people work from home. I quit my job to stay home with my 2 kids over a year ago. I bought all our Xmas gifts from Goodwill, thrift shops, mended clothes, got most of our furniture secondhand and from Facebook Marketplace. I cook from scratch and shop grocery store sales. I've never bought an ounce of formula for my kids because I breastfed and cloth diapered them for the start. I do have a question for those doing that. Are you paying a company to do the cloth diapers, or are you washing them in your washing machine? It can still be done. It's just like you said, Hayden. You can't assume your life path. You have to question everything and do the best with what you have. I love this comment. That's why we put this in here, because I don't think everybody's doing everything they possibly can. Once you start making more money, you can dial down on some of these things, the frugality. You can enjoy the fruits of your labor, but until then, you do have to sacrifice a little bit. It can be done. Is everyone doing this? Probably not. Probably not. But I love these stories. Again, let me know if I should open a P.O. box. I think it would be a cool read to have on the channel.
You're telling me all these generations and nobody in my bloodline wanted to be rich? What were they doing? Not one family member wanted to invent something, own a business, buy a house when it was affordable and it was $200? What were they doing? Just having kids and then passing away? And that's all they did? Like, I see all around me, family inherited businesses, family owned businesses, inheritances, trust fund babies. And I don't get anything. My family legacy is old casserole recipes passed down for generations and an old box of Christmas ornaments. That's it. Were these people just lazy? Or is it worse and there was a cousin or somebody that did make money and then somebody ruined it later on and gambled it away betting on horses or something? Like, what possibly happened where nobody wanted to make money? The worst part is now I got to be the person that breaks this generational wealth curse in this economy. Eggs are like $6. All right, y'all had it on easy mode and you still fumbled it. I'm playing on hard mode. The only thing that my family passed down is sarcasm and high blood pressure. So thanks for that, I guess.
My family passed down alcoholism. Oh my gosh. My family, when everything was cheap. Yeah, just living it up. They passed down traumas. My family passed down diabetes. No, literally, like, why didn't they build generational wealth? Anywho, guys, that is going to be it for today's episode. If you like this video, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. If you haven't already, let me know your thoughts in the comments about all the questions I had. Do I open a P.O. box? Do I not? Will you send me? Am I going to be throwing my money away if I open it? Nobody's going to send me any mail. And then also, if you haven't already, definitely make sure to check out my video on how everything is becoming so expensive in 2025 right after this. Peace.